Hey friends, so I've been seeing a lot of advice recently, and it usually goes something like this. If your man isn't taking you on $1,000 dinner dates, he's out. Oh, your man hasn't bought you a designer bag yet? Tuh, couldn't be me. If your man doesn't get down on his hands and his knees and uses his back as a table as you're eating, he's trash, girl. Throw him away. Okay, I know I'm exaggerating, but the only reason I'm exaggerating is because some of you genuinely sound like this. And this isn't a diss on the ladies, and trust me, girlies, we're gonna tackle the manosphere a different day. But today, I'm gonna be talking about princess treatment. Welcome to No BS Nat, where pop culture meets practical lessons. We are going to be diving into all of the nuances surrounding different dating topics, and the goal is introspection. So if I poke at some of your beliefs, stay with me here. It's okay that you have your own opinion, all right? At the beginning of this video, I really didn't elaborate on exactly what I meant, so let me make things very clear. Princess treatment as a concept is wonderful, but princess treatment in practice and what everyone is spinning it to on the internet is narcissism. All right? I believe that men should treat their women like princesses or queens or whatever we want to call it, right? Just as a man wants to be treated as a king, a woman wants to be treated like a queen. And you desiring that treatment is not inherently a bad thing, but the materialism and entitlement that has come with this concept of princess treatment is what I'm talking about in this video. I am not saying that women need to dumb down their standards in order to feel good enough. I'm saying if you manipulate a man into spending money on you when you know you're not interested in them, that makes you kind of a bad person. I'm not saying that to be mean, but it's a moment for introspection because there's a difference between going on a date and being like, okay, this is not my type of vibe. Thank you for paying for my meal. But if you are intentionally going into a date because you want a man to spend an amount of money on you, despite the fact that you are not interested in that man, I believe that's the same exact equivalent as a man love bombing a woman in order to get laid. And I touch on the morals around that later in the video because a lot of people will say, well, men do that, so why can't women do that? You'll see, just stick around. Princess treatment sounds empowering, and I completely thought it was at first. Like, I was a girly who was like, if it's not princess treatment, get out of here. You might even see in some of my old videos I mentioned princess treatment because I believe it's something that we've been taught, right? That fairy tale that we've all been taught. If you are just a princess and someone can come save you, you will be fulfilled in life. That is literally what we've been conditioned. Let's be honest, that fantasy isn't real. Okay, especially in this day and age, relationships are hard. But princess treatment is usually framed like this. If he loves you, he'll pay your rent, buy you flowers, rub your feet, read your mind, and you shouldn't have to ask. And if you ever have to ask a man to do something for you, it reflects on your worth, queen. And while I do believe that your man should be buying you flowers and should genuinely love you, I don't believe that women should just be accepting anything and everything a man brings to them because different seasons of your life as a woman will come with different requirements. And in this day and age, it's not optional to have standards. It's a requirement. Standards protect you from low quality experiences. But if you're entering into the dating market with a list of things that a man needs to check off on the first date, one of them being the bill must be over a certain amount of money, you're going about things all the way wrong. And I'm going to tell you exactly why you're going about things all the way wrong. Number one, you are entitled. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that to be real. Because when you are entering into a dating market and you are genuinely trying to find love, the price of a meal genuinely shouldn't matter. It's okay not to want coffee dates because, again, a coffee is $5. But if you're going to deny going to the Cheesecake Factory because, oh, I need my man to take me to the fanciest, best steakhouse for the first date, a lot of men are hesitant to do that because a lot of women genuinely do see men as a meal ticket. Sorry, ladies. Getting a free meal out of a man doesn't make you a queen or a girl boss. It just makes you a user. And you get yourself in a situation where a man is spending so much money on you right at the get-go where you're going to feel obligated or get put in situations where your boundaries are tested. You don't want that at first. Men will use money as leverage. We know this. Every single woman who's listening to this understands that a man, when he spends money on you, it's almost like his investment. A rebuttal to this is often, well, why can't I look at a man as a meal ticket when most men look at me as just a sexual object? right? And that's a valid concern, but your morals are not somebody else's morals, okay? If you want to attract a high quality man into your life, you also have to be a high quality woman. Point blank, period. Okay? And having low morals and seeing someone just for their materialistic items, this doesn't even have to be in dating. This is in general. Some of you genuinely believe that you shouldn't be friends with someone or give someone the time of day unless they are benefiting you somehow. And that's a really selfish mindset to have. Being acquaintances with someone does not mean you have to be their closest friend. Okay? You miss out on some extremely genuine people. Some of my best friends I met through working in fast food, through serving the community, through being a friendly face to someone who was going through depression or anxiety or just wasn't feeling confident in themselves. When you are only wired to see what someone does for you, you lack to see what you can do for yourself. And that is the main takeaway I want you to get from this video. You can do for yourself what you are looking and searching for in another person. Even in romantic love, because you see, if you don't have at least some sense of self-love, you won't know how to receive love in a relationship, and you will only see love through a transactional lens. So why are so many women falling for this? Well, the answer is dating is really hard right now. A lot of people are at their wits' end, and a lot of people crave connection so deeply. It's not just men and their male loneliness epidemic. Us women are equally as lonely, because what we'll do is we'll go for emotionally unavailable men, and we'll pour all of our time, energy, and effort, and then the second that they don't do what we want them to, we'll say, "You're trash, you were using me," this, that, and the third. Men who are emotionally unavailable attract desperate women. I'm saying that because, again, detachment is so extremely important. I made a video on detachment, and this is science, okay? Anxious always attracts avoidant. Your goal shouldn't be to flip the script and then become an avoidantly attached person. You need to be who you are and get to secure, because right now you're disorganized. You're throwing your love to someone, and then the second that they don't reciprocate what you are giving them, you demonize them and play victim, because it's easier than looking within to see how you can set better boundaries and avoid people who manipulate you. If we keep playing this game of, oh, I can manipulate men because men manipulate women, we are never going to get anywhere, because at the end of the day, women are the source. The demand for women on men's side will never go away. Men will always be lustful creatures. Men will always want women. Men will always lust after women. And that's not our problem. Our goal should be to recognize our power as women. Since we are the source, we need to bring it back to ourselves and remember who we are in these moments. Getting things from men, using materialism as a way to feel love, only puts you in compromising positions over time when a man who wants to buy you doesn't get what he was looking for. On the supply side of the equation, we need to remember who we are and not base our morals off of what people on the internet are saying our morals should be. Even biblically, it says you cannot serve both love and money. If you truly want a love in your life, be the love you want to see in the world. And that doesn't mean give to everyone and give nothing to yourself. No, you need to love yourself, and that also means boundaries. Speaking of Jesus, I really wanted to elaborate on the specific verse I quoted, which is Matthew 6:24. I was reading back through it, and oh my God, you guys, the way this aligns perfectly with this video, please, even if you're not religious, just hear me out for a second. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. It then goes on to say, therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body or what you will put on. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not more valuable than the birds? And can you add one single hour to the span of your life by being anxious? A lot of you, when you are acting out of greed, subconsciously you are focused on lack. And you are prioritizing money over the connection and the love of God. God loves you. And I often don't talk too much about my faith, but I'm gonna start changing that because God has been convicting me recently. Some of you might know I got baptized back in February, but since then, my outlook on life has changed so tremendously, even the way in which I look at the world. I need you guys to stop thinking about what someone can give you and start thinking about where their heart is when they're giving, because someone can give you something out of the kindness and genuineness of their heart, and you can tell when someone gives because they are a genuine, generous person versus when they give because they're trying to use it as leverage. And that goes for you as well. If you don't want to do something and you're doing it because you feel like you have to, it's going to build resentment over time. Not being selfish doesn't mean you're selfless. It doesn't mean that you don't have boundaries. It doesn't mean you don't protect your love and care. It means you're considerate of yourself and you know your capacity. Princess treatment content focuses on material. Buy me things, fly me out, pay my bills, or I'm not impressed. And that's not love, that's employment. You're taking the concept of clocking in and out to a job as clocking in and out to a man. Okay? And I don't think that's right. You are your own beautiful, unique, intelligent, smart woman. Okay, you are genuinely such an amazing person, and recognize those qualities about yourself. And this is a recent lesson I had to learn because growing up, I was taught you need to be polite, you need to do this for others, you have to perform in order to be loved. But love is not performing, it's being around someone and being so authentically yourself and going, even when times are bad, I know this person sees me. To be loved is to be seen. So do you see yourself? Do you truly see how much an amazing, smart, beautiful woman you are? Because if you genuinely saw that, you wouldn't have to go outside yourself, go outside your morals in order to gain resources. You are abundant. Genuinely believe you are abundant and believe that the love you give yourself is what you require within another person. But also, here's where it gets messy. There's this idea that I shouldn't have to ask for love. A man should just automatically give it. Sis, that's not empowerment. That's passive communication. The healthiest relationships are not built on guessing games. A lot of you are creating your vision boards, your dream man, this concept of who you want to be when you get married on a genuine fantasy. We were the ones that created the narrative of feminism and breaking outside of this box. And the reason why we broke outside of this box is because transactional relationships will never work. They will always result in divorce because the only reason you were with each other was because you were using that person for their selfish needs. And that's both ways, right? That's men and women. In family counseling, there's this thing called bids for connection. And a main reason for people's divorce is they won't pay attention to bids of connection that their partner gives. So let's say, your man comes home and he crashes down on the bed and you're like, do you want to hear about my day? And he's just like, oh, I'm so tired. And he starts talking about his day. That was a bid for connection. And so over time, when we miss people's bids for connection, we overall sabotage the relationship. If you are genuinely interested in a person, see who they are. And that doesn't mean you have to accept bare minimum. That doesn't mean you don't need standards. And that doesn't mean you don't have to communicate your needs, but a lot of you are expecting people to know. You assume this idea of if he loves you, it'll be automatic. No, if he loves you, he'll listen to you. He'll grow with you. He will show up in the ways you need if you tell him how. And I know you don't want to be someone's teacher, but letting someone know what you will and will not tolerate is what you need to do in relationships. A promise without changed behavior is manipulation. I've told this to you many times, bestie, okay? Another thing we do as humans, and this can be in relationship context or just in general, we assume malintent when there might have not been malintent there. A lot of women have the mindset nowadays that all men are bad except the ones that are buying Chanel bags. When the ones that are buying Chanel bags are usually the worst type because they're trying to buy you and also cheat on you. But I digress, right? A lot of women have that mentality, and so whenever they see a man doing something that might not be in alignment with them, they automatically assume malintent. So a practice that I want you guys to start doing in your relationships is asking what they meant by things. Use nuance when I say this because not every situation is like this. If they're cheating on you, you're not going to be like, like, oh, like, well, what did you mean by that? Like, don't do that. I'm referring to low intensity arguments, things that are minor inconveniences that do pop up in relationships. For example, my man told me that he was going to the store, and when he came back, he had Jamba Juice. And I was like, wait, like, why didn't he ask me if I wanted Jamba Juice? And so I asked him, I was like, baby, did you think about me when you went to Jamba Juice? Did you think I would want something? And he was like, no, honestly, I didn't think that you would want anything because you already had a smoothie earlier, because I literally made a smoothie earlier in the day. At first, I was getting really defensive, and then I realized he didn't have malintent. From there, I just told him straight what I wanted. Well, next time you go get any type of drink or sweet treat, it would make me feel really important if you called me and asked me if I wanted anything. Because in this moment, I was feeling really sad because I thought that you just didn't want to do anything nice for me. Small things like that are bound to happen. But if I would have just kept it all to myself and internalized it, I would have been like, well, he doesn't even think of me when he's going somewhere and getting things, but I always think of him. I would start internalizing resentment. From that point forward, every single time he went out to the grocery store to do errands, he would always ask me, well, what do you want? I'll pick you up something. And those small acts of service mean so much to me, because when you're reminded that someone you like is thinking about you, that is a form of love. Give grace to who you love and who has shown you that they love you. Okay? Don't give grace to someone who isn't putting in the effort and you're being delulu about. Last but not least, I want to talk about this idea of being deserving just for existing. You are worthy, okay? I'm not going to take that away from you. Every single person on this earth has inherent worth. But relationships are not vending machines where you just exist and love pops out. It takes vulnerability. It takes emotional availability. It takes knowing what you truly need in a relationship. Instead of seeing a man and automatically thinking, I need princess treatment. Transform yourself into the queen you want to be. Don't look to a partner to complete you or to accessorize you, but rather to be an addition to your life. Trust me, you'll find a whole lot more fulfillment if you let go of this femcel narrative and lean on your own morals and values, not because, oh, men have bad morals, so I should have bad morals. No, have good morals because that's genuinely who you are. You don't need to fake good morals. You just have them and you act accordingly. I love you guys so much. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe, and let me know what you'd like to see. Okay, bye you guys.